Fall is here, guys, and so we are going to be decorating our back patio for this season. We're going to be putting in some cool weather flowers. We are also going to be putting in some chrysanthemums and just generally going through and cleaning up the area. And if you've never been here before, my name is Marlene. Welcome to my home and garden channel. So let's first of all take a look to see how we started here before this cleanup. You can see how everything is arranged there from the summer. Some of the plants are overgrown, some of them are annual, so they will not make it past the winter. And let's take a closer look. So over here now we have the vinca in the center, and it was so pretty with those pink blossoms in the summer from this previous video here. But it's at the end of its cycle because it is an annual, so it's not going to make it through the winter, so we'll have to get that taken care of. And of course we have the other plants that were there as well. So we're going to go in and take a closer look now at the begonia and the caladiums. They still look so pretty, and I'm going to keep them for as long as I can before the first hard freeze because they're so gorgeous. And up to a week ago I saw a hummingbird come by on a couple of them, so you know we'll definitely be keeping them there. And the mosquito net is still up because every now and then you have a stray one that comes around, so we're going to keep that there for right now. Over here I have some smaller begonias as well. And you can see the patio set right there. We're gonna have to get everything cleaned up. We have some leaves blowing in because we had a couple, storms coming through. So first thing my husband is doing is taking out the umbrella because since the weather is cooler now, we're not gonna be really needing that anymore. So he's taking it out from the base, and that should basically take care of that aspect of it. We're still gonna be using the table out here though, for when we gather, in the evenings, when it's nice and cool. And guys, as you can see how the concrete is looking right there, we want to paint it in the spring. So just give us some suggestions, what you think might be a good color, because the house color is like a rich gray color. What do you think might be a good paint color to do the floor there, the ground, so it's going to complement the rest of the house? So just let us know in the comments what you think. Next thing now will be to go in and take the vinca out. As I say, it is an annual, so we just have to replace it. So I'm just going to go in and, take it out. And I'm going to try to keep the root ball together because I like to keep them for as long as I can, like in an area that they're not fully out there. So in the back where my raised bed is, I'm just going to rest it in there and have it just go on, until it can't any further. And it was pretty root bound too, but it did so well. So I'm just going in and cleaning out everything here. And then what I'm going to do is after I take it out, I'm going to go in. Usually what I do is I spray them with a very light solution of bleach. So there's no spread of disease if there is any there when I put something new in. And to replace it, I'm going to be using some pansies. So we went ahead and we took a look to see what they had at our garden center by way of the pansies. And of course, they're such a wonderful flower. I highly recommend using them to fight that cold weather. They're perfect for it. So I just got a couple here, and these some nice colors I thought complemented each other. These were the 4-inch containers. They were for $1.98 at my garden center. I'm just going to go ahead and place them in. And like I said, guys, they're such troopers, so I just love putting them in. Every year I do it. I wish they were perennials. They're not, but it's okay. They come up, they last right through the winter into the spring, and then, they spread out and they just look so gorgeous and beautify the place. And let me know if you like pansies, guys, if you've ever tried them before, for your cool weather gardening. And my gloves had broken, so I went in and I changed them out for these. These came with the kneeler that was in the summer video I showed you earlier. I had shown you like the unboxing and all of that, so you can always check that video out if you wanted to see, how we had done it. I'm just going to go in and pack in the potting soil. And I typically don't like put plant food on my pansies because they're pretty resilient. They hold up really well. You can add a little bit if you want, but sometimes I'll just give them some food, like a few weeks in, just, the instant one that you put on there. The quick release is what I meant. And I'm using my gloves, but of course, you can always use your trowel to take up the soil. This container wasn't very large, so I figured I'll just go in and just, get some of the soil and just put it in there. But whatever works for you, will suit your needs best. And so I just went in and fixed them in there. And I really like how it looks. So I'm going in and just watering them, giving them a nice good soak. And this container didn't have holes when we got it. It's a cute little carriage, but we put some holes in there because, of course, you always want to make sure that the water is going to drain out. And then I put some mulch on top, of course, to help to keep them warm in the winter. And if you wanted to see a detailed, step-by-step of how to plant pansies, as well as to put some kale along with them, ornamental kale, you can check out this video. It's done pretty well, even though it's a couple of years old. So I'll link it in the autumn playlist for you. So now my husband is going through and just blowing the leaves off. We had some pine straw because this has been quite an eventful summer, I must say. We had dry weather. We had storms at one point. It was just kind of like, a lot that went on. And I highly recommend getting a leaf blower. It makes your work so much easier when you have one. Instead of having to sweep and rake, you just go in and you just use it, and it makes it really quick. So I'll link this in the description box if you wanted to get one of those. And now it's time for us to go in and get the surface cleaned up for the table. And I just like to make my own little cleaning solution. There's a little spot of bleach in there, a little bit of detergent, Dawn. I like to use Dawn, and just get it wiped off. And it works pretty well for me. You can tell me what kinds you like to use, for your cleaning your surfaces like glass and so on. And it was pretty dirty because it's been outside, of course. So when I took a look, I said, wow, we really got some dirt coming along on here. And then I went in and I dried it off with another paper towel just to get it nice and shiny. So it looks pretty much like new. So I was quite happy with it. And now it's time to go ahead and start putting stuff back together, starting off with this beautiful wreath. So I just placed it right here. I thought it looked better there than behind, on the door behind the screen. So I figured let's just go ahead and put it in that spot. It looks perfect. And just to say before I go any further, if you want to follow along with my garden topics, tips, and tours, if you love flowers and just love gardening in general, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell twice so you never miss an upload. And now we're coming up to the reveal, guys. But just before we do that, just let's take a look to see where we started off today, so we can follow along and just see, how it all went. And if you wanted to see how we had put the patio set together, this video right here, which will be in my list of videos, you can check it out to see a step-by-step of how we assembled it and everything. All right, guys, so this is how they're looking, and everything was kind of getting a little, well, not everything, but quite a few of them were looking a little tired. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look to see what it has become. And so here you are. So tell me what you think, like what's your favorites on here. We have the flowers, the chrysanthemums, the rosemary, and I think, it pulls all of those warm colors in for this season, and I really like how it turned out. It was not a whole lot to do, which, it kind of makes it a little easier for you, just, not to do too much, but enough so it can kind of, make you feel that you're really in that fall season. So you can tell me, and if you like it, you can give me a thumbs up, send a good message out, and it will help other people to get to see it as well. Now over here, I got these mugs. I actually got 4 of them, but we just put 2 out today. They were from the dollar store, and I thought they complemented the vase and the ornamental grass and the perennials in it. So I think everything tied together really well, and they're perfect for this season. Over here, I have my little pumpkin patch pillow and the blanket as well. And I also had similar ones in the previous fall video as well for the front porch. And there's my croton right here with all the beautiful colors of the season. And then over here, you can see that there are 2 chrysanthemums there on the table. And there's a larger one to the side. We put a pumpkin in, of course, to pull the color in and just give you that seasonal feeling of fall. And just a closer look at the pansies. I think they're looking so good. They're holding up their heads right now and looking really refreshed. And this croton was actually, this chrysanthemum was actually saved from an ant infestation. I had to cut it all the way back and treat it so it's coming up back again, and I'm very happy with it. Over here, now you can see how the begonias are looking with the caladiums. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to leave them right there until the day before the first hard freeze, and I'm going to cut them back, cover them with some mulch, and they can come back the following year. And I'll do the same for both. I may move them to another container for the spring, but for right now, this is where they're going to be until they go down. So I like the color combinations. You can tell me what you think. And what would work for you in terms of your space. Over here now, the croton, just to say that, it is tropical, so it really needs to come in before the temperatures drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit at night, because if not, it's going to drop leaves and it's not going to be doing well for you, and it survives very well inside. And over here we have the wreath again, and a little breeze coming through, and I just love the pops of colors. I prefer the warm colors of fall. Some people prefer neutral, but it just depends on what your preference is. But that's what really works very well for me, and I absolutely just love it. It's my favorite season of the year, I always say, next to Christmas. And over here, another rosemary, you can see this is what we had repotted over in the summer, and it's blossoming right now, so we love that. And I just think everything came together so well. And I truly hope this encourages you to get your fall back patio started if you haven't already, that it gave you some great ideas. I hope that you'll enjoy this season, and check out the playlist because there's so many useful videos in there that will help you. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care.